So in the last two sessions, we covered the concept of levels, where we understand a personality and place it on various levels from level 1 to level 7. And these levels have been derived, or rather based on the 7 levels of the periodic table. And this has really revolutionized and simplified our homeopathic practice in a way whereby understanding a person, understanding the way a person is speaking, has helped us classify people in these 7 ways. Similarly, this has helped us classify our remedies in these 7 ways. And then the remedies are further broken down into 7 levels, 18 columns. And that way you can come to the remedy that your patient needs the most. Since time immemorial, case taking has been defined by the way you understand your materia medica. Yeah, because the way you understand materia medica, we use a similar way to understand our patients and prescribe a remedy. So in today's practice, what we do in our clinic, as the patient speaks, as the patient gives his complaints, his history, his story, his intricate details, we try to understand what kind of a personality is he. Yeah, on which level of the periodic table or which level can we place him. Yeah, and as you go from level 1 to level 7, the individual strength and capacity gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and the personality becomes very stronger. So if a person appears to be very weak, clingy, spontaneous, instinctive, not very firm, this kind of a personality comes up higher up in the levels. Yeah, so level 1, level 2, and as you go down level 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the ego and the personality builds up, which we adequately covered in our previous sessions. So today I thought I'll share a case with you which explains this concept of levels or implication of this levels in our practice. Though this case was taken about 8 years back, yeah, but even when I look back at the case, I can see similar qualities. So the point is, the concepts and the views that we are sharing with you today are always there in all our cases, and that might be there in everybody's cases all over the world, because these views and these concepts have been taken from nature, and we have been able to put it forth, understand it and put it forth. It's not a discovery, but it is a realization that this is the way of looking at things. And on the basis of the 7 levels of dividing cases and remedies in 7 levels, we have seen that every kingdom, plant, mineral, animal, no source, code, gems, anything can be classified in the 7 levels and 18 columns. And that helps us prescribing them more easily, adequately, and to get good results. So today I'll be taking level 3. Yeah. Now level 3 corresponds to the pancreas or the solar plexus. And one of the main hormones that the pancreas secretes is insulin. Yeah. And insulin is one of the most vital hormones of amongst, I mean, of course, all hormones are amazingly vital, but insulin is a hormone which is primarily needed for our metabolism, for processing our food, giving our body the right nourishment, nourishing the cells, and keeping them healthy, growing. Yeah, so it plays a very vital role in building up and providing and making our body strong. So cases of level 3 will have issues related to nourishment, provision, doing. Yeah, the remedies that we see in level 3 are primarily belonging to the natrium magnesium group, where you have got natrium, magnesium, alumina, silicia, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, yeah, remedies like that. Now, what do we see in all of these remedies? It's a strong connection to relationships, a strong connection to personalities, strong connection to love, care, nurturing, where there's a strong feeling that I need to be cared for, I need to be loved, I need to be nurtured, and on the other side is a strong feeling of, oh, I haven't been cared enough, I have been nurtured enough. Along with that, level 3 is the first level where the person's ego starts evolving, or rather starts growing. Yeah, and the ego gets stronger and stronger as you go down the third level, whereas natrum, which is on the extreme left of level 3, has got very poor self-ego or self-respect, which is completely dependent on its partner, parent, anybody. As you go towards the right and you go towards sulfur, you see arrogance, strong views, opposition. Yeah. So the ego starts developing. So the main themes that you see in level 3 are related to love, care, ego, and nurturing, caring. And in clinical practice, we have seen that a large amount of our patients and our prescriptions belong to level 3 and level 4. And large amount of level 3 and level 4 people are present around in the world as well. And that makes the world move. Yeah. Imagine if you had all level 1 or level 7 people or level 6 people, there would be absolute chaos in the world, which is not the case. The world has a lot of herd mentality, of following mentality, listening mentality, nurturing, connecting mentality. And that constitutes a major portion of a prescriptive practice in our clinics. So if you're able to use level 3 and level 4 remedies or understand them very well, you can cover most of the ailments that come in everyday clinical practice. Are you all with me? A quick yes. Yeah, good. So this is the level 3 that I'm going to take care of today. Yep. In level 3, remember that if you go, as you go down the uh, levels, and if you compare the kingdoms, yeah, in levels, you'll see that the element is getting stronger and stronger as compared to hydrogen right in the beginning, which is very weak. Natrium is much more stronger than hydrogen and lithium. Yeah, it has got one more orbit added around itself. That makes, refresh your window. That the elements get stronger and stronger and the personality develops. In level 3, we see animals with strong individuality, strong personality. We see plants, again, which get stronger individuality and strength in them. In minerals as well, we see minerals that are more assertive. Yeah, the assertion begins more firmly about themselves and their views in level 3. And if you read through our mammals book, you'll see that we have put all the vertebrates, yeah, they begin from level 3 and beyond. If you look at the vertebrates, especially the two main kingdoms, sub-kingdoms that we have in the vertebrates, the birds, the mammals, yeah, both of these sub-kingdoms have a very, very strong level 3, as there is a strong parental care, as there is a strong individuality. Yeah, that makes a level 3 a very good foundation. So if you are able to get level 3 very well, then you can explore these kingdoms. People who belong to level 3 will always talk about relationships. Yeah, relationships are very, very important in everybody in level 3. Along with relationships, They will talk a lot about interpersonal relationships, conflicts between individuals, lot of emotions. They will talk about their views, their ideas, or taking up others' views and others' ideas. This is something very striking that you understand and you realize as the patient starts speaking. And then as the case goes further, you'll realize that is this a very strong personality who has views, or is it somebody who is dependent, who has very few views? Or is it somebody who has strong views but is not able to assert those views? So it has got both sides of that level, and that will determine the selection of the remedy for you. That is very, very important. Yeah. Level 3 people will talk a lot about parents or children and issues related to them and how they are affected with that. That doesn't mean that other levels don't talk about parents and children, but in level 3, you'll see the interpersonal relationship between parents and children gets highlighted far more. The mother-in-law, daughter-in-law syndrome starts building up in level 3. And a lot of emotional fights and emotional turmoil is seen in level 3, where on one side you can see submissiveness and on the other side you can see the assertiveness, or somebody who is stuck between the two, who is submissive as well as wants to be assertive. This is where you realize that, okay, this is level 3 coming up. And then you look at the language that the person uses. So it's very simple in case taking. Is first you look for the level. As the level builds up, you start looking at the language being used by that person. Is this a language of introspection? Is this a language of being overwhelmed? Or is this the language of comparison that determines the kingdom? And then you further go down, what kind of a language is this person talking about? Then you go to the subkingdom and finally to the source. This logical way of case taking is important because it helps you trace back your steps. And this is something that I find very, very handy in practice, is to be able to trace back and see when a case is done well, but I can understand, okay, what worked. And when a case hasn't worked well, I can trace back and see, okay, where possibly did I make a mistake or where things didn't go right and that I need to change. It becomes like a very good tool, step by step. And at the same time, it tells you where you are in the case. So at times you don't have enough time, but you take the case to a certain level and you see that, okay, I've understood the level. This is a level X or level 3 personality, and level 3 maybe a mammal like or something else like. Then you can explore that further. Yeah. That is how you come to it. I love it when I can put a pause. You know, I have this column in my case taking records where I write the words that the patient is talking in the levels column, the subkingdom column, and the kingdom column and the subkingdom column as a note, just to make a note of it so that you don't have to hold on those thoughts in your brain and you keep with the flow of the case. And at the end of the case, you put them all together and you analyze what is making sense. Many times what happens in case taking is that we tend to jump a lot at the end of the case and start making conclusions. And many a times our prescriptions are decided by the last 15-20 minutes of the case. Yeah, and we might forget something very vital said in the beginning. But when you make a note of all these important points as the case builds up and try to collect them together, coalesce them, and make a prescription, you'll be able to cover the points that have been spoken in the beginning and the end and make a sensible prescription. And that is when you end up with newer remedies, different remedies. Otherwise, we tend to give the same remedies that we are used to prescribing. Yep. Are you all with me? Hello. Good. Lovely. So I'll take this case of ours. I saw this case in 2011. Yeah. This is a case of a lady who is about 36 years old. Yeah. And she came to me with severe lichen planus. Yeah, she had lichen planus, black spots all over her extremities, on her body, both the extremities, on the neck, and a little bit on the face too. Along with that, she was very depressed. I said, tell me more. And she said, there's a lot of stress in my life. Yeah, since the past 1 month. I've finished my law. So she graduated in law just a month ago. So I said, okay, interesting. I said, tell me more. She says she has got irregular menses. She's got a lot of PMS, and the PMS symptoms change with every cycle. And the symptoms of PMS have increased since her delivery. She has some cysts in the ovaries, and during the periods she has extreme pain in her extremities. And she said, once my periods are over, I'm very fresh. A lot of heavy bleeding for 2 days, profuse, clots. She says, I avoid going out on those days. It's painful. Menses have been painful since puberty. She had difficulty in conceiving, and she took some Ayurvedic treatment that helped her to conceive. She has only one child. During delivery, she said things were fine, but somebody very close to me passed away in an accident, and that really affected me. Her sister-in-law passed away in an accident, and that really affected the whole pregnancy and the last part of the pregnancy. And she said it was very traumatic. Yeah. Yeah, the link will be shared. Don't worry. So I said, okay, tell me something more about yourself. What's happening? As a patient speaks, we always try to give enough time and we let them connect all the dots in their mind before we burst out with our questions. And we ask very generalized question, trying to understand where is the focal point in the case? Where is the focus? She said, my main problem is that I'm capable, but I cannot do. I like this way of using the language. I'm capable, but I cannot do. So I see a comparison of two extremes. I want, but I can't. This is a language for me at this stage, that of conflict. I want, but I can't. I said, all right, tell me more. I'm pulled from all directions, from all sides. Everybody's getting dependent on me. My parents, my mother-in-law, everybody's dependent on me and I have to be available for everybody. What about me? I want to do something, but at the same time, I have to come back home and look after everybody at home. I have to take care of the house. I need to have some space for myself. You know, I've been married early, and since my marriage, I've been in a situation where life has been very restricted. My in-laws have dictated what I did, where I went, how long did I go. Yeah. So I need to come back home early. I can't tell my mother-in-law that I'll be late. I cannot complete my commitments. I'm constantly looking at the watch that I need to return back home. I don't make any commitments, so there are so many people who appreciate my work that I do. I cannot say no to anybody. I've never said no to my mother-in-law or to anybody. And I can't decide that I'll be satisfied after saying no and doing my things after saying no. Meeting new people is good. Meeting new people is good. If I get involved in a particular task and I can't finish, then it's not good. I said, tell me more about it. You see, because of all of this, I feel that my space is getting restricted. I like to do so many things in life, but I'm not able to do anything. I love literature. I would write poems. I've stopped everything. I've stopped imagining. I love to have some time for myself, especially in the evenings. I never ever get that. I never got that time since I've got married. It makes me feel very, very empty. So here, in this case, as she spoke, I realized that there was a lot of conflicts. She wants, but she can't. She wants, but she can't. Yeah. For her, for me, this case can be an animal or this case can be a mineral language. Are you with me? An animal where there is a conflict between what it wants to do and what it can't do, or a mineral language where there's an element of dependence where she wants to be a good mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, but she cannot say no to her mother-in-law. On the other side, a person who wants to be creative or do something for her own self. This is a conflict. And for me, it is important to understand this conflict to see what I need to give her. At the same time, as you look at the language that is coming up so far, what comes up is relationships. Her relationships with her family, with her mother-in-law, her views, what she wants to do, what others want to do. Sorry, not others want to do, others want her to. There is an ideas. This indicates that the person, the way she third level, indications very early on in the case. So in my paper, I write somewhere level 3 because I see relationships, views, ideas, my ideas, their ideas. So I get the level and then I've got nearly 2 kingdoms where I'm differentiating from the story. Are you all with me? Lovely. So, from this point, I decide to go further. And what I found very important was the space thingy. Why not plant? Good, we'll come to that. Now in a plant, you don't often see a conflicting view, a conflicting idea between what I want to do or what I don't want to do, or my views and others' views. In plant, in a conflicting situation like that, it comes back to itself. That because I don't have my views and I have got certain views and my mother-in-law has got certain views and the family views, I feel whatever. I feel like this. I feel enclosed. There is no freedom for me to do my views. I cannot view my thoughts. I cannot do something. It doesn't coalesce. Here she's what do you say? Showing it as a conflict of two extreme views. That for me is not a plant talking. At the same time, as the plant language speaks, a lot of sensitivity of that person should come out. Here, what comes out is a comparative language between her and others, her ideas and her views and mother-in-law or family views. This is not a plant language. Hmm? So what was important was the fact that she talked about space. She talked about creativity. And this is something which is different from what she has been speaking so far. So we ask her, okay, tell me something more about your creative bit. I know in the case that there are two ends, one which wants to do something and the other one which is not able to do something. I go to one end, which is exploring the fact that I want to be creative or I want to be write poems and stuff like that she spoke. So I asked her, describe creativity. What do you feel? She said, I feel good. I feel satisfied. I feel satisfied that I am something. My ego is satisfied. I feel that I am on my own. I have my own space. When I can pen things down, when I can say things out, I'm in my own space that makes me feel that my identity exists. I have my own identity, which I don't have when I'm dependent, when I'm living with somebody, I'm doing as per their views. I don't see my identity at all. My creativity, my drawing, my poems are my identity. The level 3 gets formed. I'm very clear. Now I'm exploring this concept of identity and trying to see a mineral language talking or an animal language over here. I asked her, describe more about this identity. She said, I always had to remain under someone. I accepted it. If I work, then I have identity. Right now, I'm a wife of someone, mother of someone. But at the same time, I want to be something on my own. So I said, what is the feeling if you are not somebody? What is the feeling if you are not someone? People take you for granted. They use you. Nobody will ask whether you have any plans. What are your views? You're completely taken for granted. I don't like that. I need to have my say. I feel very angry, but I'll give my views. I see again conflict, independence, dependence, independence, dependence. I talk to my sister. She speaks out. She says, why don't you speak out? I say, I am very angry about it. I need to put it out. I need to tell them very clearly that this is not what I want. I have a different view. I want to do something else. But I just hold myself back. I don't want to clash. I don't like arguments. I said, go on. I don't want to hurt people because keeping people together, families, is very important. They can do something wrong, but I won't do anything wrong. They can behave the way they are behaving, but I have to behave right. I cannot behave like them. I have to stick to the nice impression that I have created. I have to stick to the fact that I need to keep my family together. I cannot do like the way they are trying to do. I cannot be provoked to react. I have to maintain my views. But there is this me inside which wants to speak out, which wants to say. Now when a person uses language like this of comparison, my views and their views. I can have my views, they can have their views, we can differ, but my views are very important. This me and you is a subtle indication of the animal kingdom. In our practice, when we see language like this, I always am very clear that this person needs an animal language or is speaking an animal language and needs an animal remedy. Now, this is very vital. This is where most of you get confused and start wondering, oh, but this is a mineral speaking. Mineral language will always have an introspective aspect. It will never have a comparative aspect. It will always have an introspective language. The moment you see comparison between me and them, it has to be an animal speaking. Yeah, in today's day and age, we don't see people talking about war, crime, killing, hitting. People talk about comparison, and this comparison brings out the animal state in them. And for me, I pinned her down that okay, I'm dealing with an animal. Are you all with me? Quick. Lovely. So what kind of an animal am I dealing with? What kind of an animal that I'm dealing with? Because we have got indications to that as well. We are dealing with an animal which has issues of dependence and independence. Very nice, Hetal. A prey animal, a soft animal, because she's holding on to her views, but an animal which has got elements of dependency. She's not able to break open the shackles of the family and abandon them and go away. She wants to keep the family together, yet she wants to pursue her thought. This feeling of wanting to be with a group and wanting people and pursue your view or have a view which is different from the group is seen in mammals and in birds, in animals that live in a group, where the conflict is always of I want to be with the group because the group provides me security, safety, food, but at the same time I want to be independent. I want to have my views. I want to share my views. I want to put forth my ideas, and I can't do that because I want to give in to the group for that security. This conflicting behavior is seen in in mammals and in birds. Yeah, birds both will have that. So you see how we narrowed down. We came to level 3. We came to clearly level 3. We came to the animal. We have come to mammals and birds. And now what is remaining is to differentiate between mammals and bird all the features so that we come to the right source. And if you open our quick book, you'll see that we have the birds. What are the mammals that come in this particular third level? And the moment you differentiate that, you can come to that, narrow down to your remedy very easily. So you see, you're deducting, you're cutting across and narrowing down, and your margin of error gets minimalized with every question that you ask the patient. So where are we? Hmm. Huh. So I said, okay, I know that you're doing all of this. I was very curious to know what is stopping her from resisting. What is stopping her from putting forth her views and saying something which is different as compared to what the family is expecting from her? Yeah, I was very curious to know that because that will tell me what kind of a dependence it is. What is the feeling that she has? I'm very attached to my family, to my mother-in-law. Wrong I've created in the family, all of that will be shattered. And I don't want to break that. I'm too attached to them. I don't want to hurt them, her feelings. She's all by herself. She's staying alone with us. I don't want to hurt her. I can't tolerate that. But at the same time, I love to stay alone by myself. I said, alone? I said, yes. I want to stay alone. After that, I can't stay alone. If you give me the whole day to be by myself, that's not possible. I need some time for myself where I can think, I can do something, and then I want to be back with somebody. I want to talk to somebody. Very good. Very nice. We'll talk about the creative aspect as well. Very nice. I like you guys are thinking. Yeah. What you do in your case record is you make a note that there is a creative side as well. So your prescription has to cover that creative aspect too. Hmm. When I'm alone, she said I could do things in a better way. but I want to talk to someone. Good. I want to talk to someone. I feel better after talking. You want to share your views. You like to talk about things. How does it feel when you don't get to talk? How does it feel when you're not able to share your views, when you're not able to get this time all by yourself? I feel very restricted. I feel very restricted. I feel like this. I said, okay, tell me more about restriction and this that you're doing. It's a very uncomfortable situation. I would never want to be like this in my life. It's very restricting. I said, go on. Since marriage, I have felt like this. I don't like it. I want the people. I love the people. I don't want this restriction. I want to be out in the open. I want to have this. As what do you mean by this? I want to have the choice to do what I want to do. I want to have the choice to express what I want to do. I want to have the choice of going out and doing something that I want to do. I said, wow, that's very interesting. Caged and freedom. Falcon, very good. Caged and freedom. I said, okay. I said, tell me more about this. Free? Free. Freedom is very important. I said, what do you mean? What way is freedom important for you? Freedom to explore, freedom to do what I want to do, freedom to see what I want to see, freedom to have time for myself. But then I'm willing to come back over there. That I'm willing to come back and be with my people. I love my people. I like my people, but I need to have that space. I said, have you not ever spoken this to your mother-in-law? He said, my mother-in-law has never said no to anything. My mother-in-law has never said no, that don't go out, don't do this. But somewhere I feel that if I go out, she might feel bad. If I go out, she might feel very alone. And that makes me realize that, oh, I shouldn't be bothering her. I should stay with her. And that's how I try to go out and come as soon as possible. I said, lovely. I said, stay with this. Stay with this and this feeling. What what do you experience this? This is very constricting. This is very restricting. I want to be like this. I said, what is like this? This is the experience to be like a bird out in the open. Are you all with me? So what do we have? We have got views like falcon, phosphorus like animal, horse, small bird, bird, bird. Good. So which bird and why? Type your views fast. Held back feelings, so horse. Okay. More. Bird. Okay. Creativity is horse. Okay. Dove. Want freedom with sensation of being in cage. Okay. Good. More. What about the others? Yes. What kind of birds? Why not a bird? Where in the bird? Want to have a group, so horse. Very good. Now, I want all of you to understand the levels of prescription. Which level does she belong to? Type that. What is a level? Level 3. How many agree with 3 or disagree with 3? 3. Perfect. Yeah. Even I saw it as level 3. Emotional. Yeah. Relationships. Yes. Why 4 and why 5? What about 4 do you see? For it to have hints of level 4, there have to be issues of security, safety, threat. Yeah. Work. Working for home. Yeah, but is she working for home out of work because she has to work, or is she working out of the need to be caring for the family, to be doing for the family? Okay. Does she, when you say poetry and drawing, which makes you think duty to be together is what we are putting, Hetal. Duty to be together is not what she's saying. She said, I want to be together. She feels responsible for them. She wants to love for them. She wants to care for them. She's not saying that I have got rules and I've been restricted to do in a certain way. That is not what she's talking about. Yeah, she's talking about the need to do that because there is a calling. She says, my mother-in-law has never stopped me from going out, but she herself has imposed these restrictions on herself. This makes it very peculiar. That shows that there is an emotional binding on her to not to do this. This is level 3 because which has got caring, loving, nurturing along with her views. That makes it level 3. Now poetry and drawing. Now every person who is a poet or is painting or drawing doesn't come in level 5. There's a slight hint maybe of level 5 but doesn't come to level 5. She's not looking at poetry and drawing to show her exemplary creativity or to show that how great she is. For her, she derives her identity, her views from poetry and drawing. So this poetry and drawing in her case as well belongs to level 3. Are you with me? This is all level 3. And when you talk about birds, yeah, along with that is a strong sense of restriction and expansive freedom. Always remember restriction and expansive freedom is a language spoken by birds. Yeah. For her to be a horse, she has to have lot of level 5 themes. We don't see strong level 5 themes. We don't see the theme of intense internal feeling of power and capacity and capability. We don't see that in her. That would make me think of horses and level 5. So here I see level 3 and this restriction and freedom is what I see in birds. And Bhavisha and I have seen in most of our bird cases that they all will have a hint of creativity. They all will have something to do with drawing, painting, coloring. All bird cases have something to do with that. So the moment you see less amount of creativity, drawing, painting and all those extracurricular creativities in mammals as compared to birds. That doesn't mean that mammals are all blank. No, as compared to the birds have far more creativity even in level 3. Whereas in mammals, you'll start seeing that in the lower levels, especially in level 5. Yeah. So a bird of level 3 will as well have some element of creativity in 4, 5, 6, everywhere. There will be a element of creativity because that's an inherent property of the bird. Are you all with me? So I was looking for a small bird that belongs to level 3, a small bird which has got a strong view. You see, she has got a strong view about herself. Yeah. Though she gives in to the family, though she gives in to whatever others say, but she is very strong about her views. She's managing a family, she's managing everything possible that's needed single-handedly. And she's been doing that for ages together. So that told me it's a small bird, not a weakling, but a small tough bird who knows her views, but a bird which needs some space for itself, a bird which likes to free fly, but needs to come back home. Are you with me? Everybody. Good. Any questions so far? Then I can open up the bird. Now it is important, before I ask the question to the patient, tell me more about birds, what birds, which bird can best describe this. I have to be very clear and build up a personality. I have to be very clear and build up the character of the person before I ask these specific questions, because then I'm trying to explore what I've understood so far in the case to the images that she gives, and I cannot be carried over by the images. Otherwise, it can be a disaster. Can there be more levels? Remember, the reason why we came to the animal kingdom in the first place is that we saw various levels in a case. But there is always only one predominant level. You can have hints of level 5. Yeah? Birds will all have a base of level 3. And a level 3 bird will have complete level 3. Or if it's a level 5 bird, it will have care, love and care of level 3 as the base level, but a predominant level of level 5, which is that of creativity. That is where it experiences its conflict. Yeah. But at one point, there is only one level that is predominant, which needs to be addressed. So then I finally asked her, any dreams? And she said, I get very deep sleep. I don't dream at all. I said, anything in nature that you like? And she says something very lovely. I like evening time. I like to watch the sky. I said, tell me more. I told you, doctor, earlier in the case that I like to spend some time in the evening by myself. I love to sit by the window, look at the sunset. I love the sight from the window, especially in the evenings. How does that feel? The colors in the sky, the sunlight is soft. I feel open, like I'm flying. I want to fly. I want to fly to a place where I'm alone, lonely, and no one else. I said, go on, fly and come back just for that moment. Fly and come back just for that moment. I don't want to go very far. I can be spiritual at times too. I love this pinkish reddish sky. The sun is calm. There's water below. I'm close to my God. Small streams of water and rock. I would like to fly and come back. I said, describe this view that you're watching. Stream of water, small stream, rocks. What is this experience? I would love to fly over that. I'm scared of seas. I fear it. Only small rivers and streams. I like birds, small birds, like squirrel. I said, okay, describe more about these small birds, squirrel. I said, just, I love the way they are. They are so beautiful. They fly, the small birds that you see from your window that I saw in my village when I was small. It's a lovely sight to see them. I said, describe this small bird that you're describing. You know, all those small birds. I said, what bird would you like to see? What bird can you associate yourself with? And she says, my nature is quite like this small bird. They don't harm anybody. They like that. They are in their own world. I said, what bird describes this impression that you're giving me, this image that you're giving me? And she says, the sparrow. And the sparrow, tell me more about it. It's a small bird which loves to fly, come back, do things, which flies, comes back, goes over small streams. It's a strong, tough bird, yeah? You cannot easily catch a sparrow. You can never catch a sparrow. It makes itself loud and clear. It is chirping all the time. It's again a very small bird. It loves to come back to its nest in the evening. That is something that really covered the entire picture. And that was the bird I was looking for. A small, tough bird, level 3 bird, goes out, returns back to its nest. In the dreams and the way she described, everywhere as she spoke about the bird and the whole impression that she gave, she didn't talk about a bird who would fly for miles and miles together. She talked about somebody who returns back home, who comes back to its nest. That's a typical feature of level 3. That's a typical question of level 3. That this is the way a level 3 will talk. And the remedy that I selected for her was the sparrow. Our house sparrow. The remedy name is called Passer domesticus. Clear? The sparrow explains every bit that she talked about, every aspect of her personality, the way she is, her inner strength, which is that of the right hand side of the periodic table, as well as the element of complete dependency. This is seen in the passeriformes or the small birds which belong to level 3. And sparrow was the choice from my side. I gave a sparrow 200. I gave a sparrow 200C. Yeah, I gave a sparrow 200C, and there was big change in the lichen planus. I gave her once a month for a couple of months to be taken in water for 3 days. She took that for about 6-8 months I gave her. After the first follow-up, she stopped using, after the first meeting, she stopped using all allopathic medications, no steroid, no methotrexate, nothing, absolutely nothing. In the first follow-up, she tells me there is no itching, no new patches. Patches have dried up. They are not raised. It was elevated, black elevated margins everywhere. They flattened out. The mood was calmer. Mood was better. Periods were less painful for the first time. A month later, the patches completely dried up. And in about, she came to me in August. And by January, the patches were very, 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 very light. They were, forget about being elevated, they were hardly seen in many parts of her body. Something which was so extensive had all flattened out, cleared out, no dryness. And I asked her about the mood. Yeah, I asked her about her mood, and I was so happy the way she said that, I all these years was very hesitant about talking about myself and what I wanted to do to my mother-in-law. And I just happened to mention to her that mummy, I would like to go out. I would like to spend some time with the charitable work that I'm doing. It gives me a lot of happiness and pleasure. Is it okay if I go out and stay out for much more longer and I don't return home, before sundown? And the mother-in-law said, oh, why not? You can definitely do that. If that is what is giving you happiness, please go ahead. And she said, I was so relieved when my mother-in-law said that. And now I'm able to spend more time with the charity work that I'm doing. And I'm happy that I can complete and fulfill my commitment. And I was so happy with my mother-in-law's reaction that she wasn't upset and angry over me. And she was very free. She said, okay, why not? Go ahead. So somewhere my inhibitions that were holding me back are not bothering me. And I'm much more freer. It was so heartening to listen to this by January when she came to me, and I was clear that the remedy has done its job and she will be fine. Yeah. So this is the sparrow, a strong, sturdy, tough bird, a bird that belongs to level 3. So you see a level 3 like personality, or there are plenty of birds in level 3. You can make a book if you have. There are many birds in level 3. They are all small birds that we see in our region majorly. Yeah, they are all small birds. All majority of the land birds smaller in size, they all belong to level 3. And actually the number of birds that belong to level 3 are in few thousands because there are so many of them. the finches, the tits, the thrushes. Yep, the vast varieties of our bird. Mynas, crows are not in level 3. Many of these small birds are all in level 3. Robin is in level 3. These are all level 3 birds. So if you look at a person who is strong, tough, row 3, bird-like, with a strong sense of responsibility, family, who can withstand situations, who can face situations, who can manage various tasks and yet be stable and happy, or guard the fort, which can give you a subtle hint of row 4 as well. You know, some of you mentioned, which is not out of responsibility, but it is out of love and care. Think of sparrow as a remedy. Yeah. The mineral that can correspond to sparrow is magnesium silicata or magnesium phos. So if you have patients who are on magnesium silicata or magnesium phos and are not doing so well and they have got bird themes, you can look at sparrow as a remedy. Are you all with me? Yeah. So these are some of the indications of sparrow. Some of the themes that we see in sparrow as a remedy is some of the themes that we see sparrow as a remedy is toughness, swiftness, flying, exploring, communicative, very communicative, talkative, likes to change, can get bored easily, flying. Silicea is very close. Yes. So you'll see silica-like features. So magnesium silicata, Maxil, Macphos, these are the remedies that correspond to sparrow. So in your cases where you see these correspondences and you see a bird-like features, you see subtle tinge of creativity, trapped, caged, freedom, openness, think of a bird remedy. Think of sparrows. Yeah. So I hope this bird. So every time somebody talks about a bird and cage, it's not falcon. Yeah. It's not falcon. Natrum phos can be very similar. In Natrum phos, you will see the helplessness. Natrum phos will talk about tremendous dependency and the conflict will be much more stronger. Here, when she talks about I need the family, the desperation in Natrum phos for needing the family, especially because of the Natrum, will be very, very strong. Here you see a connection and bonding to the family, a need to belong to the family, a need to be responsible for the family. Whereas in Natrum phos, because Natrum has got only one electron in the outermost orbit, makes it very desperate. So people who require Natrum phos, Natrum especially, will talk about complete dependence on the husband or the mother-in-law or on the family and feeling helpless without them. And the phosphorus will talk about being torn between this complete dependence where I want the family, but at the same time I feel that I need to break out and express my views. Again, it will need a smaller bird. It will need a different kind of a bird. There are many other birds. Yeah, the finches and the thrushes. It will need some of the bird which corresponds to natrum phos like behavior, which has got extreme clinginess and the need to break out and go out in the open. Yeah. I mean, what I do, I buy most of these remedies from Helios in London. It costs 400-500 for the remedies. So you can buy it and the remedies last for many, many months together. And it comes by post. It's very easy. And I think Sparrow is, I think so available. You can check it out. This remedy was proved in 2004 too, And there were interesting themes as well that came out in the proving, which when we look for, which we compare now with the cases, we can see a lot of correspondences with that. Can we you view your old session? All our old sessions of the free webinar are there online. So you can view all of them. You can just go to our website, yeah, and you can just click the free webinar window and you'll be able to see all the webinars. They're all there for all of you to watch. I put in the website, go to our website, browse down, all the links are there. Click on the link and you can watch it. Any more questions before we close down? We use these remedies quite frequently. I mean, I might use this remedy every day in the clinic. Remember, you give patient the remedy what they require. And if a patient requires a remedy, then I'll go anywhere on earth wherever we can get it. And we use these remedies. You see, we cannot decide remedies based on what are available in our clinic. We have to decide remedies what are needed. And if you don't have that remedy, give remedy which is as close as possible to that. Use the zoological and the botanical classification to come to a remedy as close to the one that you want to give. And you can use it. Yeah, this is where remedy relationships in a new way comes into action. Provings and literature vis-a-vis the case, it really doesn't matter to me, honestly. In today's day and age, I'm so very clear about systematic classification and prescribing and understanding the remedy in nature, any remedy for that matter in nature. Because remember, what you see in nature is what you see in our people. Our people are reflecting the inherent properties of that particular element in nature. And that is where we use that to make a prescription. If you have a proving, that can further enhance your prescription. If you don't have it, then your understanding about the substance in nature itself becomes the proving material for you to prescribe. So not having my symptoms in the proving wouldn't deter me from giving a remedy, but I'll give the remedy with my certain logic and I'll observe how it has worked. And when that follow-up has worked, in the follow-up when the patient has done well, I know that the logic is working and it's very clear. If it hasn't worked, then we change it. Yeah. So all the best. We'll be posting the link of the recording in maybe tomorrow once the clinic opens, and you all will be able to watch this session once again. Share the link with as many people as you know so that the knowledge keeps spreading. All the best.